Hi, I'm author TNT, you can call me Trisha, and today, continuing on with the author talks kind of section of my YouTube, I want to talk about how I, as an author, pick what book I'm going to write next, or the genre, or even, what I want to write next. And it all goes back to, I think, for me, personally, location. But first, I want to introduce you to a little thing. Look at him. So I had a dog named Charlie who was a terrier mix, and he died several years ago. It was heartbreaking. I'm laughing because I literally would cry if I wasn't laughing, but I then found a website, and I can't forget, maybe if I remember, maybe I'll link it, but I sent them a picture, and then I paid, and then they sent me back this, and this is kind of how he looked. But look at him, so cute. This is my little Charlie. I'll sit him. He'll stare into the camera with me. But so for me, the next book I write all starts with location. Is this because I was a tourism major and that allowed me to travel all over the world? Yes. And also because I could write about locations I've been, locations I want to go to, go to those locations and then write about them. And, put it on my tax form saying, I had to. Yeah, I had to. I had to travel to that location because I had to write about it. Who decides what I write about? But so in my first books, the cozy paranormal mysteries, I set in Ireland. My mom was Irish American, so and her dad was full Irish. I always heard that, I'm a quarter, half or whatever, but I always kind of heard about Ireland, and family stuff when I was growing up. So when I was in college, I traveled there, actually studied abroad there for a summer where I wasn't really studying. It was where I actually spent a summer teaching soccer to the summer camp school kids. It was really great. I had done soccer for 10-15 years beforehand, so it was great to do with teach little kids and just spend. And then when I graduated college, I moved back to west coast of Ireland because I previously had been in Dublin. Absolutely loved Dublin, but I really like the Dingle kind of area a lot. So I decided to write. When I was thinking about, what should I do for my first book that I want to be published, I decided to set it in Ireland. And I decided to just set it about an American, woman who graduated college, who had just graduated college, moving to Western Ireland. Is it anyway, related to me? No, because she was a witch. And, try as I might, there are no special powers. Hogwarts did not send me my letter, and I'm sitting here not able to do any magic, which is really sad. But moving on. But I am an author, so I guess it kind of depends on your opinion on whether writing books is magic. So those books became my cozy paranormal genre series. The 5 books, the Irish Incantations, the first book, Covert Curses, which I came up with that title. It stuck. I'm very proud of myself. So in the next books I was writing, I kind of set ambiguously, my first horror one could be set in any tropical, seaside town, California, Florida, Europe, doesn't really matter. But my next horror book was set underneath Versailles, set in an underground prison that I made up specifically for my book. That's liberties we take as authors. But my next book, I'm actually in the middle of writing my reverse harem dark romance paranormal series is set in Prague. And I kind of wanted to tie it into my horror books, but have the main characters from my horror books be side characters, or the side characters from my horror books, if the main characters didn't live, because you don't know, be side characters in my reverse harem. And since it's dark romance, I think I can get away with it. Why I picked Prague is because I love Eastern Europe. I love Prague. I spent several, weekends there. It was pretty great. So that's how, kind of when I'm thinking about which book I'm gonna write next, that's why I think about location, and then it becomes more of a genre thing. Like, I wrote the cozy mysteries because I do love mysteries. I do like the cozy series, but then I kind of wanted to write more darker, so it was more about, and then it kind of progressed a little bit darker, and dark romance is up next. So now I'll be sticking with the dark romance genre at least for the next couple of books. I have to tell myself, because I have all these ideas that are going in my head. I'm like, no, you need to finish this next book that you've had in your head for like a year. You need to do that. So then when I've picked the location and whatever genre I'm really strongly feeling at the moment, I usually then go to the main character, and it's, I think, all except for one book, so maybe 9 out of 10 my main character have been women. I just find I like writing in women POV. In my M&M Second Chance romantic suspense book, it was, I had 2 main characters, which were, the 2 men. So I wrote in the male POV, and in my reverse harem book upcoming, I will write in the female's point of view. Most of the book will be in the female main character's point of view, but then there will be, the 3 guys. They'll have their own. They don't want to shut up in my brain, so they will speak on the page. So when I'm creating the main characters for the book, I kind of go, well, why are they in that location? And I really like those books where it's like the character just arrived. They're just trying to figure out, because I feel like we're learning the space as much as they are. So I write, Americans traveling to Europe. Once again, is that because I was American who has lived in Europe before and moved back and forth, an annoying amount? Yes. Because, right from what somewhat. And then I add the magical ambiance. So once I have the main location, the genre, and the main character, I then kind of add the side characters in. And if it's a romance, then it's kind of like, well, I'm writing, and if it's a romance, then it's who are the romantic leads, and the side characters. Like, I love when women have like a whole lot of women friendships. So in my Ireland book, she gets there and she meets like a hot Irish guy, but then there's also these 2 sisters that become her best friend, because I really think, found family is one of my favorite tropes, and I don't like those books where it's like, oh, I'm the only girl in this group of like 10 guys. It's like, well, that's great, but where's your best friend that you're gonna like bake cookies with and like, I don't know, or go shopping for like perfume, or whatever you want, go to the mall, peg out on pretzels. Like, I want that kind of, my characters have that kind of, female relationship. So then I create their, situation, and then I kind of give them a romance also, because I feel like everyone should have their, romantic buddies, which is, why I keep writing books to make the series longer. And then because I really like when books, even when it's not a mystery book, I really like when other genres have a central mystery, baked in. I kind of then will go on the internet, read the news, be like, well, okay, why do people kill people? How do people kill people? Because I like murder mysteries and that kind of thing. So in other videos, I talked about how, when I was in Ireland, I watched a lot of news, and I was like, why are Irish people killing other Irish people? And, sometimes it was like over land, over farms, or sometimes it was like, robbers, or sometimes it was just, stuff that you would also see like in Montana. It's just when you go to another country, I don't know why, I felt a little surprised that, oh, people are still harming people in the exact same ways, just a couple thousand miles away. Great. Going strong, humanity. So then the books became, you know, how do we central around this mystery? So the book I'm writing right now, The Reverse Harem, set in Prague, she moves to Prague because of a family like trauma, and she ends up getting divorced to her husband, and then she wants to become an English teacher in Prague. But things happen, and it's discovered that she has magic. And it's discovered she has magic. I don't know, this isn't really a spoiler, but there's like, she discovers this like dead body, and it erupts her magic. It makes, but when the other fae, you know, supernatural creatures, they find her with this dead body, they think, you know, she killed this dude. And so she has to prove herself innocent. You know, she wants to get away, even though, you know, it's a romance, you know, so we're not going to let her get away. But there is this central mystery that is fueling the plot that is going to continue into book 2 as soon as I finish writing book 1, which instead of writing, I am doing this video. So please like and subscribe so I can feel good about these videos and so I can continue writing.